Hi, welcome to the Gear Garage. My name is Zach, and this is my little internet show about whitewater stuff. And today I want to talk about inflatable kayaks. And a specific one. I have a personal love for these inflatable kayaks. I'm a long-term rafter, and I've done a lot of hardshell kayaking. But as I go to explore more rivers and try to find places I have to hike into, or do rivers that I just do at low water because they're shallow, I've chosen to take inflatable kayaks more and more. And also as I get older, my reflexes are getting a little bit slow. My legs aren't working the same towards pushing the boat with my tight hips. So I like the inflatable kayak because I'm not kind of pinned inside this boat sometimes. And that kind of makes me nervous, especially as I get older. And I've been taking out the inflatable kayaks more and more. And what I love is hiking into a really remote river and spending a few days in that place that very few people have done. And there's a new breed of inflatable kayaks that are sort of opening that up. Things like the Chetco, which is a place we do commercial trips on, or Low Water, Illinois, or we did a really cool trip on the North Fork of Rough and Ready Creek, and we did some stuff in Bhutan. We had to fly overseas with kayaks, which is, weight's a factor, and then pack them in for a few days to paddle down a very remote, river that a hardshell really couldn't have actually done. And so I've sort of fallen in love with these boats, and some key things for me are that they're durable, stable, and light. And I've tried a lot of different things out. I watched an alpaca on the Chetco do pretty well, but we really had to watch weight with that boat. And because it had a not bailing floor, we had to constantly turn it over and bail it. And so I thought on the Chetco, why don't we take an alpaca and just make it longer? And basically take the bulbous, the alpaca has a lot of volume in the front, the bow, and the stern that's really good for running big drops. Why don't we make it longer so it's more stable and it can handle more gear? And that was a boat I helped Sotar design called the ATV. And that's what we've used in our Chetco trips for a few years. I've used them all over the place. It's about a 40-ish pound boat that has big tubes, has a big bulbous bow and stern. It's really good for running low water rivers, shallow drops. It's just a great all-around boat. The problem is it's 40, 45 pounds of boat, so if you want to hike it into the Chetco, for example, your overall pack weight is going to be in the 80, 90 pound range, which isn't really that realistic. Or if you want to travel overseas, putting a 40 pound boat in one of your bags, that's already one bag. So if you have boating gear and the boat and your personal stuff, you're looking at 3 bags of gear, which is going to cost you a lot of money to get overseas. And so I love the idea of the ATV, but I've been trying to get something lighter for quite a while. And Air on its own, or with somebody, I guess, developed this thing called the back raft. And the back raft is a 10 pound boat using a really space-age material that Air sort of worked with. And using their sort of inner-outer bladder thing, they figured out how to make a 10 pound inflatable kayak that's legit. It's a great boat, and I have 5 of them. We've hiked them into the Chetco a couple times now. I've used them a bunch. Like I said, I took them to Bhutan, and it's a great boat, especially considering that it weighs 10 pounds. My only issues with that boat are they're not super durable. I found that if we're doing low water runs that are rocky, you're going to, with 5 or 6 people, you're going to tear 1 or 2 a day. That's just kind of the reality. The fabric is tough, but not that tough. If you're doing the middle fork of the salmon, you should be fine. You're not going to really hit that many rocks. But if you're doing the trips I like to do where you're beating down rocks all the time, they're not quite durable enough for that. And I really don't like the pointy design. I mean, their design is a traditional inflatable kayak. It has big tubes on the side and then diminishing tubes to a point at the end. And when you're running big drops, you really want volume in the front of that boat. At least that's what I think I want. I think the idea is some people like pointy nose kayaks are really good at boofing and getting their nose over things. But a lot of us that are not that good at boofing inflatable kayaks, we want volume, so when we plug a hole, the boat comes back up. Also, if you have 3, 4, 5 days of overnight gear, let's say 100 pounds in a boat, for example, and you put that in the bow and the stern, there's not much volume, they're going to sink, right? I really want volume in the bow and the stern of my boat. So the back rafts have been really good for me because they're way less weight than any other inflatable kayak. But I wish they had that bulbous nose. And I've been trying to get Air to do it. They've been thinking about it, but they haven't quite done it. And so I've really worked hard with a few different manufacturers to see who can come up with a lighter material. In the past year or so, I've been working with Wing Inflatables. They're based in Arcata. And they made whitewater rafts. They started as a whitewater raft company in the 90s by Bill Wing and took on some government contracts and kind of got out of whitewater, and they're just not getting back in. And I've been kind of pushing them to do some cool things, some innovative things. And through all their time doing military contracts, they've been getting some really light materials, some new manufacturing techniques to where they can do things I don't think other rafting manufacturers can do, or other raft manufacturers. I don't think they can do these things. And so I asked them, can you make this boat that's bulbous at the bow and the stern, a lot like the ATV I designed for Sotar, or even like the Cronin. Cronin has the similar design. The Cronin Inflatable inflatable kayak, the Ugly Ducky, which I paddled a bunch and enjoyed. He just put a ton of rocker into it, you know, based on a creature craft, which is really smart for a lot of applications. But for what I want to do on overnight trips, I really want less rocker. And from my experience running the boat that I like with less rocker, the Cronin, I think I like the less rocker. Although I'm still, man, Matt Cronin's done some cool stuff with that Ugly Ducky, so I'm still sort of torn. But I really think that having less rocker allows you to carry more overnight gear, do longer trips. And so I approached Wing and said, what can you guys do? Do you have some cool fabrics? And they did. And they designed this, they took basically a hybrid of the Sotar ATV design and made some modifications to it and applied a new fabric they have. And it's a 23-pound boat. The one they've given me, it's a prototype. And we took it out today and tested it on the White Salmon. We did the Orletta, which has some technical water, and it was great. A couple of things that we immediately noticed is it's light. I mean, the 23 pounds is noticeable, not only if you're hiking it in somewhere, even if it's a short distance like the Orletta, but also on the water. It's just losing 20 pounds in your boat, you're more nimble and more agile, which is really cool. And the fabric they used, I don't know much about it, but it slides over rocks better than the Sotar boats we've used before, and about the same as the back raft. The back raft that Air has does slide over rocks really well. But the beauty of it is it's a big boat with a lot of volume in the bow and the stern, and it's going to be more durable than the back rafts. And I don't know much about the durability of this yet, but I'm going to assume you're rarely going to tear these boats. I'm going to assume that they're very durable based on it being a really nice fabric, and you can just look at it and feel it, and it definitely feels a lot stronger than the back raft. So it was really enjoyable to test that today. I took video while Emily paddled it, and it was fun to watch her make moves. She loved it. She really enjoyed that boat, and I really think for whitewater people that want to pack in, maybe with a lot of weight, or just have a really stable boat, this might be the future. I mean, having a 10-pound boat like the back raft is cool for certain applications, and if you're comparing it to pack rafters, that's a good solution. But most of us, I think, would be really happy with a 20 to 25-pound boat that runs whitewater well, but is also really durable. And I think this is that boat. This is sort of the one I've been looking for a long time. So if you have comments to add, if you've been looking for that same boat, add a comment down below. I'd like to hear, the people at Wing would probably like to hear, like yeah, this is what I'm looking for, or no, this is dumb. Maybe this is a dumb design. But I'm pretty excited about this. I'm going to take it, test it out some more next couple weeks, and just see what it can do, see how durable it is. But I'm pretty excited about it, and if you have any suggestions how to make it better, or things you like or don't like, again, add a comment down in the comment section below. Alright, thanks, and I'll see you in the next episode.